better
This is
weapon.
Frozone USMC bringing you another stream from RGC Gaming. This time, we're going in there as a raid team, and we're going to push things right in the hole that they belong. But before we kick off into all of that, we got a couple of new additions to RGC's family. It's been great, and then we're going to get into the conversations we always have. So before I do that, the following content is rated MA for mature audiences only if you consider yourself to be that. Viewer discretion
Yeah, nigga.
For
advised.
sure.
Alright.
I would consider
I
myself to be
I got
mature.
it out there, son. Every fucking time I gotta get it out, son. Shit. Oh yeah, son. Boy, yeah.
On the mic is Bluntscope. You guys love him so much because, you know, who doesn't? Alright, so we're going
Prophetic
to the
today.
tower.
Prophetic doesn't like me today.
He doesn't like you today? What'd you do now?
Prophetic does not like me.
What'd you do now? Because you did
I
something.
walked away from my sticks.
I have a 290 Merciless on me. I've got one.
I would tell you what happened, Fro, but you're streaming, and I don't want to put my man's business all over the world.
Very well, very well. Alright, so we're gonna go to the bank. We're gonna pick up some guns. I like how my freaking
I'm laughing straight to the bank with this ha 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 ha.
But yeah, so the boss has, if you remember Oryx, he has like a little stun phase. So just know that. Only 3 people are gonna have to worry about the little stun phase. We are gonna split up into teams of 3. Yeah, 2 teams of 3. Get in there.
I don't think you can do more than that as far as the two.
That's what I was thinking.
Is this merciless necessary?
It's not
Actually,
necessary. If
yeah.
you want,
Drop the shield. I would say yes, it is, because when we're shooting skulls down, you need to take his shield down as fast as possible, or not as fast as possible, but just enough, or
So-
else we're gonna have problems, especially at the very end. To finally kill him, you have to take his shield out, and the merciless pretty much is what most people rely on to make it happen.
so at that
Unless
part,
you're 300.
the only things that I've ever noticed when I've gone there and we've had issues is if everyone actually wasn't shooting him. Because I took a sniper rifle in there that had literally the slowest reload speed possible, and I took his shield down to 50% solo. Like, I was plugging him. The other 2 guys were freaking getting fucked up by ads, and I took his shield down to half with a slow-ass sniper rifle. So, as long as all 3 people are literally shooting at him, the shield will come down. The stun phase is not hard. So, we'll go in there. There'll be ads to kill. There are also plates, yet again, that have all 4 symbols. The only people that really have to worry about the plates initially are the 3 that are going to be on the outside team. The Dream World people have other things to worry about. The only time that the people in Dream World have to worry about the plates is when we decide what plates that we want to stand on in order to do damage, because we all need to be standing on the same plate. So before we get to that part, kill ads. Some counselors will show up on the 4 plates. That's what Nauseous was talking about on that part. And when we're waiting on everyone to call out, because you guys in the Dream World are going to be calling things out to us, if you're taking ridiculous amounts of damage, you can literally stand inside the bubble of where the scions are, I guess, and not receive damage while you're in there. So if you need to take a break from getting shot at, you can jump in there, just for the people that are going to be on the outside. So, once we get the ads down, he's pretty much going to stand, he's going to clap, and then everyone's going to get to teleport into the Dream World. This is where the associated teams are going to do their thing. 3 people are going to grab orbs in front of them and disappear and go back to the main room killing ads. The 3 people in the Dream World have an important job now. There's an invisible barrier that's in front of you, and you need to want to make sure yourself is pressed up against it, because Callus is going to... Oh, you don't have to be crouched. You literally could be standing. No, you do not have to be crouched. Because Nope.
I got my gear. We need to go.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm putting on mods.
Alright, just let me know when. So once you're pressed up against it, we're gonna have you spaced out, left, middle, right, however we decide to do it. but he's going to appear. His big face is going to be there. He's going to be sucking you in. So that's why you just want to make sure you're pressed against it, because if you're far away, the momentum will catapult you over the invisible barrier if you're freaking too far away for some reason. I don't
I
know
love
why.
big faces sucking me in.
So once that is done, for the very first invisible barrier, only 2 floating scions are going to show up. We need to kill them. Once they're done, start looking at the top of his forehead, because this is the most important part. Each one of us in a dream world is going to see a different image. So we're all going to call out our images in a specific order. We'll also figure that out. Like, we'll say, maybe Coco was first, I was second, and Nauseous was third. So I know that every time I hear Coco say something, I just need to say what my image is and then go back to focusing on what I'm doing. Then Nauseous does the same thing. He calls out his image after he hears me say something. So let's say Coco says cup, I say dog, Nauseous says sun. Then you know that the last one that we didn't call was axes. The people on the outside have to be positioned in a way to where they can run up and punch that scion that's on axes. Once you punch the scion that's on axes, the next invisible barrier will show up. You have to do it quickly, because once that image shows up on his forehead, that barrier is going to go away and you're going to start being sucked in. So as long as we do it right, you'll just meet the next invisible barrier. The other dangerous thing that in the dream world you have to worry about are the ramps on the ground. So you want to position yourself in a way to where there's not a ramp in between you and possibly, the next couple of 10, 15 feet that you're going to be flying in front of. And you'll see the distance of how far you're going to go, because the ramp, yet again, for momentum, will propel you right into a freaking callus and you'll die. So the only dangers you have to worry about in the dream world is killing scions as they show up, because after the first barrier, scions show up. Everyone knows what their purple blast does. They'll shoot you in the air, and yet again, same thing. You go into his face and freaking die. So the thing you want to do to make it easy is, once you kill your scion, the floating one and the ones on the ground, just start looking at his forehead. Once you get your image, know what that image is, and then get back down into your sights to look for the scions that are about to spawn and call it out. So if Coco was first, as soon as she sees the image, she'll call it out first. I see my image the same time, but I'm just waiting for her to say what hers is. Then I'll call out. Nosh, the same thing. He's just waiting for me to call out mine. And then the people on the outside just need to punch their scion. If we do everything correctly, we'll get all the way up to the 4th barrier. That'll be done where we're kind of close to his face. Scions will show up again. We'll kill them. The 2 floating counselors will show up. We'll kill them. And then we'll stop being sucked into his face. We'll actually be able to move back a little bit. This is where the skulls come out. You want to kill as many skulls as possible, because not only do they do damage to you, but they give you a buff. So that way when you're teleported back to the other worlds, you can do more damage to Callus. As we're doing the skull part, the people on the outside are dealing with ads and punching the scion when they need to, or the counselors when they need to. But this is where the stun phase comes into play. Oh my goodness. Why did I just get booted?
I just got white screen.
That's crazy. But yeah, so
Your
the guys...
connection to Destiny server has been lost.
Yeah, so the guys on the outside, while all of this dream world stuff is happening, are killing ads.